Happy Friday. Good evening, and thank you so much for joining us. You're watching the 9 at Night. I'm Stephania Jimenez. Tonight, we start with the day that so many Uvalde parents have waited for. Uvalde CISD has suspended its police department, and that comes more than a week into a protest by the families of the Robb Elementary victims.
We're not done, but this is a good start. Good start. We got to come together. We got to right the wrongs that happened, that caused May 24th to happen, and we got to go through from there.
You just heard from Brett Cross, who has basically lived outside of the Uvalde CISD central office since late last month. Cross was Uzziah Garcia's guardian. His family and several others have called for the district to suspend its officers as they do an independent investigation. Now, the district says that its officers are going to fill other roles within Uvalde CISD in the meantime, and that's with the exception of Lieutenant Miguel Hernandez, who's on administrative leave. Hernandez knew one of the department's newest officers was under investigation at DPS. Body cam video shows Crimson Elizondo as one of the first DPS troopers to arrive at Robb Elementary on May 24th. Uvalde CISD hired the former trooper earlier this year and then yesterday fired her. UCISD says it also placed Director of Student Services Ken Mueller on administrative leave, but the district's press release says that Mueller chose to retire. Meanwhile, Uvalde CISD Superintendent Dr. Hal Harrell is also planning to retire. The Uvalde News Leader reports that the staff there got a memo today. It says that Harrell is going to discuss his plans and options with the school board at its meeting on Monday night. Our cameras are going to be there to bring you updates as they come in. No charges for the 17-year-old shot by a San Antonio police officer. The Bexar County District Attorney made that announcement today, 5 days after the shooting, which we showed you. 17-year-old Eric Cantu was shot outside of a McDonald's on Sunday night, and the officer who shot him, James Brennan, was there for an unrelated call. Body cam video shows the moment that he saw Cantu's car and believed it was the same car that he tried to pull over the night before. Now, Brennan opened Cantu's door, told him to get out, but that's when Cantu put the car in reverse. Brennan shot Cantu as he tried to drive away. And right now, Cantu is hospitalized, but he's had limited contact with his family in the last few days because he was in custody.
A humanitarian gesture because this young man is in critical but stable condition. There's no risk of him escaping. It's not like he can get up and run away, so that's why we've made the decision for now to dismiss this case.
Now, Cantu was originally charged with evading arrest and aggravated assault. Brennan was fired, but charges have not been filed. And the DA says that his office is going to review the case when police then finish their investigation. A former San Antonio police officer avoiding prison time. KSAT investigates uncovering new developments in that case. Kenneth Valdez was fired for botching sex assault cases, and nearly 5 years later, he was sentenced to 4 years probation in his felony tampering case. He also has to pay $1,300 in fines and court costs. Valdez blamed personal issues and being disorganized for mishandling approximately 130 cases. Records show that prosecutors moved forward with a single count of tampering with evidence during a court hearing last month, and he pleaded guilty to that single count. After 2 months of migrant buses from Texas, New York City's mayor says that his city is in a state of emergency.
We are at the edge of the precipice. We need serious partnership and realistic solutions. As I have said before, we need help, and we need it now.
Mayor Eric Adams says that hundreds of buses have brought migrants to the city. One bus just arrived there this morning. Adams says that New York doesn't have enough low-income housing to handle that influx. The mayor also says the city is on track to spend $1 billion on the migrant crisis by the end of its fiscal year. But Governor Greg Abbott says more buses are coming. He responded to the mayor's comments on Twitter saying, quote, "Sanctuary cities like New York City experience a fraction of what Texas border communities face every day," end quote. Free money for parents. If you bought baby formula within the last 5 years, you could get cash. 12 on your side's Marilyn Moritz breaks down the class action lawsuits and also how you can get the money.
Infant formula, powder turned liquid gold as parents have scrambled to find it. Every scoop and ounce matters. Now parents who bought certain Enfamil formulas can claim their piece of an $8 million lawsuit settlement. The allegation that the containers didn't make as much formula as the label claimed, about 10% less. Families that bought the formulas between 2017 and last June may now get up to $15 back without proof of purchase, $45 with proof. That deadline is October 30th. Bought another brand? PBM Nutritionals also settled similar claims that they shorted people. Several brands are included: Walmart's Parents' Choice, Sam's Members Mark, Target's Up and Up, and others. People who bought the formula as far back as 2017 can claim up to $30 with proof, $10 without. That deadline, November 30th. It's hardly a cash cow, but if you bought Fairlife milk products, ice cream, butter, yogurt, you might be due as much as $100. The company resolved claims that they mistreated cows that they promised got extraordinary care. The deadline to file a claim is December 27th. None of these companies is admitting any wrongdoing by settling these lawsuits. If you're eligible, you can file your claims easily online. We have links on our website. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
Okay, now it's almost time to light the night. That event is meant to honor patients, survivors, and those who lost their lives to blood cancers. Well, tomorrow, the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society is honoring 7-year-old Jarvis Henderson. This kid was diagnosed with leukemia when he was just 5 years old, and this past Saturday, he finished his treatments. We're so happy for him. Now, you can also learn more about tomorrow's event, and you can go. Just scan the QR code that you see on your screen. You can join our team. Light the Night starts tomorrow night at 6 at Hemisphere. All right, now let's get a quick check of our forecast for Light the Night. Meteorologist Mia Montgomery shows us what to expect for the rest of our weekend.
After a day where we found mid and upper level clouds filter across South Texas, a few more peaks of sunshine in the works as we head into the upcoming weekend, starting off with temperatures Saturday morning for most of us near average, especially here in San Antonio, with those morning lows in the 60s. A few upper 50s possible, especially up in the hill country, partly cloudy skies. Those temperatures warming into the low to mid 80s by lunchtime. Those daytime highs in the mid to upper 80s for most as we head into the afternoon hours throughout the first half of the weekend's plans. Really more of the same is in store for your Sunday. Temperatures in the 60s, then transitioning to the 80s. Very similar conditions as we head into the early portions of next week. A little bit more sunshine by Tuesday. It is still looking like we could find a cold front work its way into our area Wednesday and into Thursday. That could also spark up a few chances for rain.
All right, we're waiting for that. Election Day, just 1 month from tomorrow, but the voter registration deadline, that's a lot closer. It's around the corner. And if you plan on voting in November, you're going to need to make sure that you registered by the October 11th deadline, which is on Tuesday. And there's another option to help you register that you may not know about, and that is libraries. Dozens of libraries in San Antonio also serve as official registration sites, and many of them are open on the weekends. Library Director Ramiro Salazar says that the goal there is to facilitate voting.
So when a member of the public comes into a library, we generally ask them, are you registered to vote? We can help you register. We have registration cards. They can fill them out there, leave them with us, and we'll turn them in, or they can take them with them and they can mail them on their own.
So state law requires that libraries serve as voter registration sites. Here in Bexar County, a lot of them are going to serve as early voting locations or election day sites. If you want to take a look at the ballot for the November 8th election, you know where to go, KSAT.com. Here's something else we want to let you know. If you have type O blood, the South Texas Blood and Tissue Center really needs your help because it has less than a day's supply of type O on hand, which is a big problem because type O is the type of blood that's usually used in emergency situations. The Blood and Tissue Center says that a rise in emergency traumas has put a strain on its supply, and right now less than 400 donations are coming in every day. It needs 600 per day to meet patients' needs and also rebuild its supply. And if you want an appointment, they are available this weekend. Well, that does it for us here at the 9 at Night. We hope that you join us Monday night and also tonight on the Night Beat, which is in 51 minutes. Have a great night and an even better weekend.